We got to start at St. James's Park. I think Newcastle 4-1 suggests beatdown. I don't know if it was as much of a beatdown in terms of what we saw on the pitch. Psychologically, Newcastle could ask for a bigger boost. Paris Saint-Germain couldn't ask, I think, for a bigger demoralization, maybe even a delegitimization of Luis Enrique.
Yeah, that may be a bit too far. But he got it wrong, completely wrong. His tactics, the formation, the 4-2-4. I think you can get it wrong. A lot of managers do. As long as you correct it at some point, as soon as you see that it's wrong. And that's my issue. Maybe the biggest issue I've got on that game on Wednesday night is that Newcastle did everything you expected them to do. The high press, the intensity. They didn't have much of the ball. They didn't really want the ball. They didn't really play. But they were very efficient in everything they did. Everything went their way completely. And it was all them. Great. They deserved their win. For PSG, once the 4-2-4 doesn't work and you can clearly see it, change it, do something. And instead, he kept it all the way until the end.
So, in terms of Newcastle, I think we have to underscore that there's no Sven Botman, who I know Dan Burns in fashion and Kieran Trippier and all this stuff. For me, Sven Botman is the game changer in this Newcastle.
Best defender, yeah.
And he wasn't there.
No.
And he wasn't there. And he's the guy with the legs who, if you play a different way, maybe he can keep up or try to keep up with Mbappe, whatever. Joe Linton wasn't there, who gives you something, I think, very different. Callum Wilson, I know Isak played well, but Callum Wilson also, not available, just coming back from injury. And no Harvey Barnes, again, another alternative, right? So let's give Eddie Howe credit for dealing with it, sending out the message to his players and playing that way. What I'm not 100% sure on when it comes to Newcastle is they're top of the group now, 4 points. 2 games in which, in this game, they had 27% possession.
Yeah.
I don't know what the possession stats were against Milan, but they were absolutely battered. They got 0-0 draw. Can they keep playing this way, or will we have to see the other Newcastle, which we see sometimes in the Premier League, but we haven't yet seen in Champions League, the one that's more aggressive, more sort of foot forward?
Yeah, or even keeping the ball better and more, but they didn't need to really on Wednesday night, because they scored early, they exploited PSG's mistakes, they were very, very clinical, I thought. The second goal, the burn goal, I think there's a handball from Lascelles. It doesn't explain why the PSG players stopped playing. Lucas Hernandez is looking at the referee, Hakimi is looking at the referee when the ball is in play behind them. So PSG haven't helped themselves. But Newcastle were really great, and without going on too much about the atmosphere, it felt a very special night, to be fair, St. James's
First
Park.
night back in Europe since the Sheer days,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So well done to them. The 2 clashes against Dortmund are key now, because if they win them both, they are pretty much through. So home and away to Dortmund now would be massive. And yeah, you would expect them against Dortmund, where they would be the favourite. In the 2 games, the Milan-PSG game, you could argue that they were not favourite on paper, certainly. So maybe they adapted the way they played for that. Against Dortmund, they are the best team, so they will be favourite, and they maybe would have to play differently.
All right, I'm going to try to put my Lucho hat on, and I'm going to go into the mind of Lucho.
I'm looking forward to this, because I don't know how you would do that.
Okay, so I think Lucho's a genius, as you know. But geniuses often get things wrong because they try different things. I have less of an issue with the 4-2-4 because, at least to start, because I'm thinking, okay, look, I've got Mbappe against Kieran Trippier. I like that matchup. Nothing wrong.
Mbappe was playing centrally.
Right, but
Colomwani left.
He's gonna come out. He's gonna go wide and stuff, right?
That's also a mistake from Luis.
I like those matchups.
Yeah.
I like on the other flank Dembele against Dan Burn, not because there's anything wrong with Dan Burn, but because when you're the size of a building, it's difficult, right? You can run at him. So we play 4-2-4. We compress the spaces. We run at them. We win free kicks. They're going to make mistakes, right? I kind of feel like that was the game plan. Gonzalo Ramos is gonna sniff around, and something's going to happen. Instead, it didn't work out the way, and that's why I agree with you about changing it. I was shocked when they made, forget who it was who came off.
Barcola for Colomwani, the same.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And you keep the same shape, and I'm like, you really determined to die on this hill, aren't you, Lucho, at this point?
Yeah, and he played it before. He played it like that. Clermont at the weekend, they drew 0-0. They had enough chances to win that game, but you could see that they were just not ready for it, and and things like that. So I was really surprised at kickoff to see the lineup, and then the fact that I didn't change anything at all.